Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Repel, and we have a special video for you guys today. Today, I'm gonna teach famous SplatTuber and just general video game tuber, Undead, on how to build and compose a competitive Pokemon battling team. So say hello, Undead.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for thank you for joining us. But yeah, let's just get started. So how much do you know so far in just competitive Pokemon?
Not much. So I played Pokemon as a kid, but then I skipped Generation 6 and 7. And I feel like that's when competitive Pokemon, especially with the rise of like the internet,
Yeah.
really started to take off.
Yeah.
So of course I like battled people as a kid, but a lot of stuff like even natures, held items, a lot of the more complex like breeding stuff is more new to me in this generation.
Yeah, okay. You are definitely correct. I think Generation 6 and 7 on the 3DS was probably, at the one of the highest, I would say, in the largest, online community for competitive. But that's okay. I mean, this is why I'm here, right? So
Yeah.
I have a full team here. Excadrill, Toxapex, Charizard, Mimikyu, Ice-Q, and Appleton, right? So each of them are, fully trained, fully just bred and everything. So two things you need to know about Pokemon is EVs and IVs. Have you heard anything like that before?
I know about IVs.
Good.
So I have been breeding some Pokemon.
You unlock the IV
my...
checker yourself, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I've been checking IVs and kind of whittling them down until I have the ones I want.
So this probably looks very familiar to you, right? I'm on my Excadrill, and on the right-hand side, we get to see all the IVs that Excadrill has, right? Best being obviously best, but as you probably might notice, special attack is only decent.
Right.
And that's because Excadrill is, for the most part, a physical attacker, right? It uses moves like Earthquake, Iron Head, and Rock Slide, and it doesn't actually use, moves like Scald and Surf and all that, right? So, for the most part, we do want to have IVs on everything else, and there's really no point for it to have special attack IVs, right?
Right.
Now let me show you EVs. So on this page, if you just press X, you get to see their EVs.
Ooh. Okay.
So this is how I build my Excadrill. So EVs are a little bit different now. They're short for effort values, and there are multiple ways you can increase a Pokemon's effort value. You can either send them to university in Pokejobs, right? Or you can even feed them like vitamins. Yeah, which I think you probably had a chance to kind of like play around with, right?
I have not actually.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So the maximum amount of effort values you can have is 252 on one stat.
Okay.
252. So I have perfectly 252 EVs on attack and speed. So that actually gives me an edge, right? Like sometimes you might battle against maybe even computers or even people online, and you think, like why the heck does that same Pokemon outspeed mine, right? A lot of it has to do with not just IVs, right? Probably because it has best IV on speed, but also because on EVs, right? Yeah, and
So how did you achieve those?
Oh, okay.
Those two maxed out EVs on that Excadrill in particular.
two ways you can do it. You can do it the slow way, which is going to the Pokejobs. Or here, maybe I'll head over to the PC. Yeah. This is probably a lot to take in for you, but
I'm taking notes, believe it or not.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
You're a good student. Okay. It's a little choppy. Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Because I have Pokemon that I want to use in a competitive team. It's just like kind of whipping them into shape is the next step. So this is perfect.
And this game makes it very easy for you to just kind of like whip up almost any Pokemon competitively.
Right.
So if you're not in a rush, right? If you feel like, oh, you know, you have a lot of time, especially like say like, you know, you have like a full-time job and you know you want to just send your Pokemon away because you know these take up like X amount of time, right? So I already sent you know 4 groups of Pokemon, right? I have them trained in HP, attack, special defense, and speed, right? I'll go ahead and just kind of pick them up. So I sent this Orbeetle to Speed University, right? So basically every time it comes back, it'll just develop speed points. So now it gains 96 speed. So I can actually just go back and check to see if it has maxed yet. So just give me a quick second. Yeah. What do you have in mind? Like, what Pokemon do you want to use?
Right now I've got... Let's see. I have Corsola with Curse Body.
Ooh, yeah.
Pincurchin with Electric Surge. I have an Excadrill with its hidden ability, which is Mold Breaker.
Yep.
I have a Hatterene. And I'm breeding a few more. I'm not sure what yet.
For the IVs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just took my Orbeetle back. He went to school like a couple times, so he already achieved 252 EVs in speed now. So
that Sparkly is showing you its max.
Yeah. Once it reaches Sparkly, you have max, but you don't always want to distribute your EVs like that though, right? Sometimes you want Pokemon with, say like, oh, maybe you want him to have a little bit of HP, and then maybe you want it to have a little bit of, say like, defense and special defense, right? Let me see if I can find one. You know, this is how I organize my box. Yeah, so like attack is like attack hitters, so
it's shiny. Nice.
Yeah, got a bit in me. So I'm not trying to show off, I'm just trying to find one that has not necessarily sparkle. Okay, so this one, this Grimmsnarl, it does have 252 EVs in attack, but I allocated the rest into speed and HP.
Okay.
So each Pokemon, they have, I believe, a maximum of 508 EVs.
Okay, so if you maxed out 2, you wouldn't be able to even increase anything else.
Yeah, 508 EVs, and only one stat, right? You have HP, attack, defense, speed, special defense, and special attack. Those 6, each of those can only be 252. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, great. I can talk about natures next.
That would be good, because that was something I was trying to figure out.
Yeah. Natures give you a boost of your base stats by 10%, right? However, in order to gain the said based stat, you will have to lose one. So Look at Grimmsnarl here. He is an adamant nature. So his attack, which is highlighted in red. So he has a boost in attack. However, he has like a negative growth in special attack.
Right.
Because for the most part, Grimmsnarl is a physical attacker. He uses moves like, you know, like Spirit Break, Play Rough. So he doesn't use moves like, you know, Psychic or like Dazzling Gleam, right? So we don't have to have him, you know, gain any points in special attack. And in the bonus, right, additionally, he's able to just grow exponentially in attack. Yeah. So, you mentioned you have your own Excadrill, right?
Yes.
So what you probably want for Excadrill is either an increase in speed or attack.
Okay.
So my Excadrill has an increase in speed. That's why the speed is highlighted in red.
So I have a question about the natures then.
Yeah.
Because I've got a 4 IV Drillbur. I have only just have recently started breeding the Drillburs, so I don't have a 5 IV Drillbur yet. Now, when I breed Pokemon, do the natures carry over to the children, or are the natures random?
The parent can pass down the exact nature if you let one of the parent hold the Everstone.
That's right.
An Everstone. So, say like maybe the father has an adamant nature, then you would want the father to hold the adamant nature.
Now I gotta remember which of my Pokemon is holding the Everstone.
I have a spare one.
Because I think I knew that before and then forgot, and then I
have a spare one. I have 2 Everstones. I can just give you one, but don't lose it. Don't accidentally toss it.
Yeah, that would, I might have.
So you see here, I think this is a wonderful chart. I mean, pretty much every website, most Pokemon websites, you know, will list you the natures. So. For Excadrill, you either want an adamant, right? Because you want to boost its attack, and for the most part, Excadrill never uses special attack, so there's no need for him to use that, right? Mine, however, is Jolly, because I want it to outspeed a lot of things, right?
Right.
So we can even just go to like, yeah, we can even just go to like Excadrill here. Let's just look at his stats real quick. Okay. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like, I'm not even sure my camera's working.
No, it is.
Okay. Look at how ridiculously high Excadrill's attack is, right? 135. And his lowest stat is just special attack, which is only a mere 50 attack, right? For the most part, right, lots of people use, you know, moves like this. Earthquake, Iron Head, right? So, yeah. And then you do want Jolly sometimes because he still has pretty good speed. With a Jolly speed, he's able to outspeed a lot of things like, you know, like a Gyarados, you know, maybe even other Excadrills himself, right?
Okay.
So speed matters a lot, right? If you have like an Excadrill versus an Excadrill, who's gonna win, right? The one that's gonna outspeed and use Earthquake first.
Right.
Yeah. So mine is Jolly. Yeah. And then you said you wanted to use a Corsola?
Yes.
Or Cursula?
Corsola.
Okay.
And those, I think my Everstone is on some Corsola, because all my Corsolas have identical nature.
Okay, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Do you know what nature Corsola should have? I can give you a little quiz.
I think it's It would be whatever is high defense.
High defense.
And then low attack.
Yes, very good.
So bold?
Yes. Good job. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, mine is bold. Some people can also do a specially defensive Corsola. So like a calm one. Right? Mine is bold though. Okay. You can even just see it right now actually. Oh wait, it's impish. It's impish because I don't actually have any attacking moves on it.
Oh, okay. You're just using it as...
Yeah, so on the right-hand side, you can see defense is bolded, and it has less special attack. Some people would give Corsola Shadow Ball, or maybe
I have one with Shadow Ball.
Yeah, so in that case, you probably want bold and not impish.
Okay.
I basically just kind of neglected my special attack because I don't have any damaging moves. I do have Nightshade, but Nightshade does a flat damage every turn. It doesn't require stats. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But so that's that, right? Another way you can have IVs is to hyper train them. Have you exercised around with that?
I have not played around with that yet,
Okay.
just because I've been hatching pretty good ones. So like my Corsola I have is a 6 IV because I was shiny hunting them anyway.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, if you do ever like come across some really cool Pokemon that you want to use, but unfortunately they were not bred, all you have to do is just get them to level 100, and then just use bottle caps.
Okay.
And then these bottle caps will just raise their IVs to, best, right? Gold bottle cap raises all 6 stats, all 6 IVs, and then a regular bottle cap raises only 1 IV.
So when I get my shiny, I should just give it a gold bottle cap.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah, like sometimes
Okay.
I come across like really cool shiny, but I'm like, oh man, it only has 3 IVs. So I just level it to 100, and then I just use 3 bottle caps or 2,
Okay.
right? Because sometimes not all Pokemon needs all 6 IVs.
Right.
Yeah.
Corsola doesn't. I just happen to.
No, Corsola does not. Yeah. So that's that. So let me go back to my team now. So I think you kind of have a general gist of EVs and IVs now.
Yeah, I just need to start actually working on the EVs.
Do you plan on, playing singles or like doubles?
Ooh, I don't know actually. If you could give me any advice, because right now I've just been kind of picking Pokemon that are very meta.
They are. I was quite surprised when you listed out those Pokemon.
Are all like pretty high in the meta right now. That's the only reason I've been picking them, because they're getting a lot of use. But if you have any advice for like how to put an actual team together, that would be really helpful.
Yeah. The Pokemon that you mostly listed, they're mostly singles.
Okay.
Which I actually do recommend you get into singles first. For the most part, I am a singles player. It's actually not until recently I got into doubles. But singles is a lot of fun, right? You can just do like ranked singles online, 3v3, or you can just play with like your viewers or subscribers, do like 6-on-6. Really fun. Lots of strategies. But I can now actually move on to just like the compositions and what separates a good team versus like a bad team now.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah. First of all, when you want to do like 6-on-6 like singles, for the most part, you want to not have too many Pokemon of the same type, unless you're doing like a rain team or like a sun team.
Right.
Yeah. Number one is because you don't want to be exposed to too many weaknesses. right? This is my personal rule, but not everyone follows it. I will not have more than 2 weaknesses per team.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have Excadrill, which is a steel type, so it's very weak to ground, right?
Right.
I also have a Toxapex, which is a water and poison, so that's also weak to ground. So when I pick these two, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to pick anything else that's weak to ground. I'm not going to pick a rock type. I'm not going to pick... I did pick a fire type, though.
Right.
But obviously, Charizard is not weak to Earthquake.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And then, here, maybe I can just go here. I don't even know how to, pace myself, honestly. So, just bear with me.
No worries.
Yeah. Toxapex is sort of like it's sort of like a Corsola in this team. He is also my wall here. And he has moves like Scald and Haze, right? So he's for the most part, when I try to build a 6-on-6 team, because 6-on-6 singles battles can be a very long battle and lots of things can happen. And to fully prepare myself, I usually want to have a wall. Right, like a wall, like just a pure wall to really take in those heavy hitters and maybe even take in those Dynamax max attacks, right? So that is also why I have Recover on my Toxapex right here. Yeah, it's kind of like a stall. Scald is nice because it burns. Alright, leaves a burn. So Toxapex is not like a damage dealer. It's just more of like a, you come in, absorb some damage, leave a burn. Yeah. And what I really like about Haze is, I don't know if I can show it here. Let me see. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. So, Recover, but Haze, it can eliminate stats of your opponent. So let's say my opponent goes for Dragon Dances or Swords Dances. I can just eliminate it, just like that, really quickly. And then Scald leaves a burn, so burn actually cuts your opponent's attack by half. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on now. I also like to usually have someone set up Stealth Rocks.
Okay.
Stealth Rock is quite important because for singles, people are constantly switching in and out, right?
Right.
So with Stealth Rocks, it kind of punishes and even maybe discourage your opponents to switch out.
Right.
So that's why I have my Excadrill. And you might think, well, okay, so there's Stealth Rocks, and how do you get rid of Stealth Rocks, right? Let's say someone uses Stealth Rocks on me. Well, I use Rapid Spin to get rid of Stealth Rocks. So Excadrill, at least mine, uses both Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin. So he's sort of like my utility, right? Even though he hits really hard, even though he's quite fast, he's not like he's not my muscle. He's just my utility.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't go for the one-hit KO Excadrill.
Sometimes I do, but
okay.
This spread, I focus more on him setting up Stealth Rocks.
Alright.
This is also why he's carrying a Focus Sash. A Focus Sash basically allows... Oh, it's right there. Allows him to live any moves if he's at full HP. So I can comfortably send in my Excadrill in front of a Dynamax Gyarados. Right? Dynamax Gyarados will go for a Max Geyser, and my Excadrill will still live one turn after using Stealth Rocks with the Focus Sash. So, yeah.
So at very least you've set up
Rocks. Exactly. And then I just have my Charizard here because I felt like I was missing a flying type. I think Earthquake is so prevalent in this generation. You probably either want someone to have Levitate or just a flying type. So I just picked Charizard, and yeah. And do you know what stat Charizard should have a boost in?
I do not.
Okay. Special attack and speed.
Okay.
Special attack and speed. So for me, I picked a speedy nature as well. So going back here, I picked timid. I picked timid for Charizard. Yeah. So that gives him speed and less attack. Because for the most part, Charizard is just a special attacker. Charizard can learn quite a bit of physical attacks like Flare Blitz, Fly. But for the most part, because it has such high special attack compared to its attack, I rather have it learn things like Air Slash and Fire Blast. Yeah. Okay. How are you holding up? Are you okay?
I'm doing good. I'm still taking notes.
One thing I love to have my Charizard hold, and this is actually a new item in this generation. Heavy duty boots. These boots basically prevent any traps or hazards, so that includes Stealth Rocks.
Okay.
Stealth Rocks...
From being set or from affecting Charizard?
From affecting Charizard.
Okay.
So Charizard basically just ignores, you know, the little damage from Stealth Rocks.
Okay.
Stealth Rocks is, even though it's not a damaging move, it is actually a rock type move, right? So Pokemon that switch into Stealth Rocks that are weak to rock will get hurt even more. Right? So let's say you have like a Cinderace. Cinderace will take like 25% health actually. That's actually a good amount. But then you have, right, because Cinderace is a fire type, so it's naturally weak to rock. But then you have something like Charizard. Charizard is actually 4 times weak to rock. Right? Because of its stupid typing, Charizard is 4 times weak to rock. So Charizard actually takes 50% damage just from switching into Stealth Rocks. So I give it. So I give it.
That's like an essential item.
Yeah, it's very essential. So I'm really happy that Game Freak actually gave us this item.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, I wanted another physical attacker, so I gave Mimikyu in here. Mimikyu is quite meta. He's another physical attacker, so I definitely give him a lot of EVs in attack. Again, I do prefer speed. So this guy is a jolly nature. Yeah. Mimikyu is also sort of my setup. I tend to have someone that likes to go for either some sort of setup moves like Nasty Claw, Dragon Dance, or Swords Dance. So just to maybe do some like late game sweeps or something. Yeah, that's that. And what's really awesome is about Mimikyu is his ability, Disguise. So Disguise essentially gives him 1 free turn of immunity. Right? Like he kind of just hides behind, you know, this outfit, right? This fake Pikachu outfit. And so usually what lots of people do, including myself, is start setting up with Swords Dance first.
Right.
On the first turn. And what's really unique is, you know, Mimikyu also has these Shadow Sneak. So he gets a nice priority. So if someone sends out something that's even faster, well, hopefully I can just take him out with a really powerful Swords Dance Shadow Sneak.
Right.
Yeah. And then I have another physical attacker. I have 3 physical attackers and 3 special attackers.
Is that purposeful?
Yeah, preferably because let's say you have like 6 Pokemon that are just purely physical attackers. You're probably gonna get, you know, your ass walled by a Corsola.
Right.
So you want to bring something that doesn't have, you know, bulk in special defense. Yeah, so that's what I do. So in this case, I have Ice Cube. It's a pretty good physical attacker, but it also has access to a setup move. But instead of Swords Dance, it has Belly Drum. So Belly Drum, it maximizes Ice Cube's attack, but in the process he will lose half of his HP. So that is also why I give my Ice Cube a berry.
Yeah. Just to mitigate that.
Yeah. Just like that. And as I mentioned, Toxapex was my special defense wall, so now I will go into my physical defense wall. My Appleton. Yeah, Appleton is, let me see his EVs. Yep, his EVs is HP and defense.
Okay,
So
wow.
he will absorb a lot of physical attacks. Especially ones that he can resist, right? He is grass and dragon, so he can resist you know, grass itself, or, you know, even what else is there? Oh, it does have thick fat though, so that actually halves fire and ice moves, so he can take fire moves quite well. I wouldn't say he can take ice moves that well though.
Okay.
Because he is still 4 times weak to ice.
Right.
Yeah, and I give him leftovers, so that kind of just heals him each time. I think that pairs really well with moves like Leech Seed and Recover. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks very annoying.
It is very
Anyway.
annoying. Like I'm not, you know, I don't really like playing stalls. Like I hate being that guy that, you know, forces people to like play like a 30-minute battle. But for
Yeah.
the most part, it's like, you know, with the presence of Dynamax, you probably would want something that can just absorb all that damage.
Right.
Yeah. Dynamax is no joke. So there you have it. You can try to have a team with as diverse typing as you want, and then have 3 physical attackers and 3 special attackers. Technically, you know, like Appleton and Toxapex aren't really attackers, but their moves are still special based, right? They have Scald,
Right.
so they still count as special attackers. Yeah, and then I usually stick a flying or levitating, at least 1 or 2, just because Earthquake is so problematic. Lately too, I've been also trying to put at least 1 ground type in my team, because Volt Switch and Thunder Wave is pretty common too in competitive. Yeah, so that's that. You can try out your team. So you said you wanted a Corsola.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I might have some breed jacks. Oh, one more thing. You know, another move that can remove Stealth Rocks or any hazards is Defog.
Right.
Corby Knight has Defog. Oh wait,
Okay.
not this one. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, Defog. Defog can just remove. It removes Stealth Rocks on both sides, like the whole map.
Okay. So you don't want to use that after you've set up.
I mean, if you're really desperate, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah, if you have a Charizard and it does not carry a heavy duty boots, then you know that might be better.
Yeah.
This is how I label my rapid spinners. I have Corby Knight. Cinderace does not learn Defog or Rapid Spin, but Cinderace has a really cool move that can actually remove Stealth Rocks.
Really?
Yeah. Court Change. So it literally swaps any effect on the team. So let's say your opponent sets up like Light Screen and Reflect. You can steal the Light Screen and Reflect with Court Change. Yeah, is that toast in the back?
Yeah, sorry.
That's alright. Yeah, but also with hazards. So if your opponent sets up, Stealth Rocks, just use Court Change, and now, the sides have kind of reversed. Really cool, yeah.
Maybe I need to rethink my Cinderace.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably just take it to the move relearner.
Right.
Yeah. And then I give it these moves. Pyro Ball, Court Change, U-Turn, and Taunt. So he's more like a utility. Right? So instead of having like 4 attacking moves, he only just has like 1 attacking move. This, just being his signature and most powerful move. This, being very, very good for utility. U-Turn is quite nice. Say like if people want to switch into like a water type in front of my Cinderace, I can just, immediately switch out. Right. I like Taunt.
Still get in some damage.
I really love Taunt. I love taunting Corsola. As soon as you use Taunt, right, Corsola cannot use any non-damaging moves, right? It cannot use Stealth Rocks. It cannot use Strength Sap.
Right.
Yeah, so that's really good.
It's probably, depending on the Corsola, going to be like at least half its move pool.
Exactly. So Taunt is a wonderful, it's a wonderful counter for stallers. Yeah. I'm not really sure what else. Yeah, so when you do breed, you want to give one... do you have a Destiny Knot?
I do.
Okay, so you already know Destiny Knot. Okay, so then you just need Everstone.
Right, I gotta track down the Corsola that's holding it. If you could see my box, it's a sea of Pokemon I should have released a long time ago.
Oh, mine too. It's just the first few boxes. I try to organize it for competitive. So I just showcased my spinners. Now these are like my hazards. So each of these have some sort of hazard. So this one, the Sandaconda has Stealth Rock. This one, the Orbeetle has Sticky Webs. Mm-hmm. Sticky Web does not do any damage, but every time a Pokemon lands on Sticky Webs, their speed is reduced. Yeah. And Mew is, has Spikes and Stealth Rocks, so, yeah. And then I have nothing for my special defensive wall.
To be continued.
To be continued, and then these are just my defensive walls. I got my Corsola. I actually like using type Null. Because, so you're gonna... Do you know what item you're gonna give your Corsola?
It's holding the Everstone.
Okay, but like for competitive...
Would I not want it to hold that?
You want it to hold an Eviolite, which is this...
Eviolite, sorry, not Everstone.
Eviolite, yeah, Eviolite. So, basically, this boosts its attack and... it's defense and special defense, right? So long as it's not evolved. That's why most people prefer Corsola over Cursola.
Right.
Yeah. That's also why I prefer type Null.
Oh, because it can hold the same item.
It can hold the same item, and... Actually, I don't even know how to... And it's not evolved. And it has really high stats. Let's see. You see? quite high HP,
right.
quite high defense. Well, it's a high all around except for speed.
Right.
And it's not even evolved yet. The evolved form is Silvally. Yeah. That's a little bit unique though. Most people would disagree with me. They'll just think, oh, Type Null is kind of trash. But I like it. Sometimes I like using non-meta Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a team that's full of meta Pokemon, people at least know what to expect.
Exactly.
But if you don't, it might throw them off at least.
Yeah. And this is my special attack box, and as you can probably guess, all of their EVs are maxed out in special attack. Yeah. Not necessarily speed though. Sometimes I like to have really tanky, heavy hitters. So like something like Lapras. You see, something with Lapras, I actually give it just HP. Give it HP and then special attack. And like very little speed. Because for the most part, Lapras is quite slow. He's supposed to go second.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely trade you some Everstone though if you need one. And I might even have some spare items just to have you get started. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to poke around and.
What's another example you said? So you said Excadrill, Corsola, which I did showcase. What was another one that you wanted to use?
Pokemon that I'm breeding.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with Pincurchin.
Okay, I don't have that. But that sounds really interesting. It's up to electric terrain.
Right.
So you might be able to bring another electric Pokemon. Preferably, you can preferably bring another electric Pokemon that is not weak to ground, like Rotom.
Yeah.
Because Rotom has Levitate. So I have Rotom Heat and Rotom Wash. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that kind of wraps it up. I'm not really sure. Have I explained myself thoroughly? I'm not really good at this.
I think so. No, you are very good at this. And I think this gives me a good, like, a lot of stuff to think about as I start to build a competitive team. Because I'm only here at the beginning, kind of figuring out which Pokemon I want first. And like, even down to how you organize your boxes, I think is a good way for me to start like visually conceptualizing all the Pokemon that I've just been haphazardly throwing into boxes.
Well, it's just because I have so many.
Right.
I mean, you probably just start with their first 6. But yeah. So this is what I come up with. But just it's. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's a lot to absorb at once, but once you have absorbed it, it's actually pretty quick to pick up and pretty quick to master. Right. Even though I'm hardly a master myself. Yeah.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, I will.
And I think the other thing I need to do is just play around in online battles more.
Yeah, you should.
And see what works and what doesn't. I've only been dipping my toes in a little bit.
I'm still waiting for our rematch.
Yes. Well, now you've given me incentive to have a proper rematch.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other questions before we go?
I don't think so. I think you've given me a great start.
Cool. Okay. I guess that shall conclude our little tutorial then. If you have any other questions, feel free to, just message me on Discord.
All right, sounds good.
And thank you, viewers, for watching all this time. If you guys did stick to the very end, well, be sure to check out Undead's channel. He's gonna probably dish out a lot of new Pokemon content in the upcoming weeks.
Let's hope.
All right. Thank you so much, Undead.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. See you next time then.
Yeah, catch you for our rematch.
Got it. See you.